Hi
Hello,
people!
Welcome back.
Can't believe we're doing this. So we're doing another episode without a script. What has gotten into me? I have no idea, but here we are. We're doing it. So today's episode is Women's Day special.
Yes. I think we both, I know she's a bit
Skeptical.
thanks for completing my words. Skeptical as to what are we going to talk about. But I was like, women's. Like, come on. I don't think we need a script for that. That is something I can speak about endlessly.
Which I don't want her to do endlessly because
we
are going to have a short episode.
Yeah, we have got a lot of feedback with saying that we love your episodes, but
we want them to be a little shorter. And Anmol has a comeback. She says, why do you listen to
like, you need to listen on like a faster playback speed.
Like 1.5 pe suno? She's always like 1.5 pe suno? Why do you have to listen to it at one normal? Like, okay, Anmol, this is your audience. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, but we are taking in your opinions. So welcome back to our, audience who have been with us in the journey that we have been on here.
Yes.
And welcome for the ones who are here for the first time.
Yes, I hope you stay. You will stay. I think so. For all of the people who are new here and who don't know what we talk about everything small, big, random, not so random. Something that may press nerves here and there. Sometimes we do that on purpose. But everything that we talk about is being talked about because we thought we'll bring change one thought at a time.
Yes.
And a conversation is a must. I mean,
it is, of course. Why not?
I am a conversation person. And I have, like, as I age day by day, second by second, I have come to realize that small talk is not really my cup of it. Like, I can make small talk. Like,
you can, but it's not your cup of tea.
I would prefer to have people whom I can have conversations, wholesome conversations with. Yeah.
So yeah, Yasha is the person you will have a wholesome, genuine conversation with.
Uh-huh.
I'm a person you try to have a conversation with because I'm like, I can talk 24/7 and then
And she does not even realize that she is
I did
not
not
letting the
realize
other
it.
person speak.
I did not realize it.
Till the
Till the time Yasha did not point it out, like last month. I did not realize it.
Last month, nahi pehle.
Like you pointed it out very subtly. I did not understand. Then we had another person coming in who was saying that Anmol, Yasha is trying to say this. तुमको समझ में नहीं आया. I was like, yeah. And then I started observing that when I'm talking, and the other person is giving their input on the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, but next thing. Yeah, but next thing. And I was like,
That sort of happens. Yeah. ठहराव नहीं है और मुझ में थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, I think. But yeah, this is how.
But this is the kind of women we are. So that is that. There is.
I'm also a cha woman. I think I like my drinks. I have like I don't think I am inclined toward one particular thing. I like my tea and I like my coffee.
Yeah, Yasha making essay specific because I told her I did not like milk teas. So she and her siblings getting
non-milk teas
getting fancy non-milk lovely teas for me and we enjoying them. Today we have the rose one.
Yeah, so I think that's preferences, I believe. We spoke to our mothers. The initial plan was that we will speak to both our mothers and we will ask both of them to come and introduce themselves and say that I'm so and so, I'm Yasha's mom, and I'm so and so, and I'm Anmol's mom, and they will introduce, and then we'll take the episode from there. So it will be like a motherly touch to the thing. And a motherly, womanly touch.
But somehow
my mother is conscious and her mother was busy, I think, and life happened, so that did not happen. But then that's
some other
day we're hoping, fingers crossed, that maybe someday in the future that might. Frankly speaking, my relationship with women, like although I am a female myself, my relationship with women has strengthened or improved over the past decade and a half ish. Prior to that, so I come from, my schooling is from a convent. Let's not name sad. So I come from a convent. It was an all girls school, and it was not a very pretty experience. In the sense that it was, I won't say it was competitive. Like competitive is a good word. Like you need a certain
people in co-ed are competitive. Trust
well.
me.
Yeah. So it was not competitive. It was some sort of you've seen Mean Girls?
No, but I know
so that was the environment that was going on. I was bullied to the extent that one of my seniors, she spat on me. Like had I not moved, like the spit would have landed on me.
Convent school girls.
No, I don't think it is all. So my sister, she has
Actually,
also. That's
more of a kid behavior sort of thing when you're still learning as to.
And we were old. I was in class 9. So I do कितने साल का होता
I
बच्चा?
still give them benefit of doubt that they were in school.
It's
not acceptable.
It is not acceptable.
But, yeah.
I was in class 9, she was in class 10. And I think it started out of, I have no idea where it started from, but it started and it got bad very fast, and like the extent of bad was like getting incomprehensible every day, in the sense that it was my school friends. So convent friendships generally, if you have good friendships, they're more like sisterhood. And I don't know what happened, because perspectives is also a thing. So I don't know what happened, how it happened, and where it got out of hand. I think it got worse with one incident. So school bags, because when you are in that age, you have that thing, wherein you have to you are judged based on what you're wearing and what you carry, and like if it's new or not.
Sometimes.
So I was so my mother, being my mother, and she's like, your bag is perfectly fine. It is not. It's in perfect shape. You're going to use the same bag in the next class as well. So I took the bag, and I started getting bullied for using an old bag. That you're using an old bag. Oh my God, your parents cannot even afford that. And it was.
I would have flexed that I'm able to maintain. Yours maintenance game is not strong.
My maintenance game is strong. Like let's just.
That's for a fact.
It is strong, but उस time नहीं पता था ना कि
उस time नहीं पता था.
हाँ, so they started bullying me that they would make direct comments, indirect comments, and sarcasm. Not good sarcasm, as in bad sarcasm, and it started getting out of hands. And then as any child would do, I think I threw a tantrum at home, and I told my mom and dad, मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे नया bag चाहिए ऐसे वैसे. So I don't know what my father and my mother perceived out of that situation. They got me a new bag that was hot pink in color, and it had a Barbie doll. I am not a pink person. Like they got me a hot pink bag.
I used to have hot pink Barbie doll bags.
Never. So and then it had a Barbie doll on it, like a image on it, and it was a cool bag. It was a good quality bag as well. But then I got bullied that oh my God, you're in class 9. Oh my, and they
not
say,
in 9th. Yeah.
So oh my Barbie girl. So they're singing and they're taunting, and it basically got out of hand because of that bag situation. So bad that I think I had to be pulled out of that school, changed my school.
I never knew.
Oh, it got bad. I think I was also taken to, I don't know, taken to somebody
counselor,
some sort of a counselor situation also कि क्या हो गया मेरी लड़की को, ये तो ठीक ठाक थी, ये what happened. Because friendships today also friendships mean a lot to me. All my friendships mean a lot to me, unless until you don't turn out to be
a douchebag,
like
a
bad person.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think they still mean a lot to me, and they meant a lot to me then also, and I think I took it to heart, and it went downhill from there. And uske
for
baad
the first time I'm like, oh, I have never thought from this perspective.
It went downhill, and then uske baad I had this notion that I cannot have good female friendships because females are like that. I made an opinion that females are like that. Females are bitchy, they're not supportive, they will pull you down, and they will nitpick, and all they care about is how you look.
Fancy stuff.
And fancy shit, all they care about is brands, and I don't know, it's sort of I conceive
that it kind of, I think, imprinted on your mind
brain subconsciously, yes. Yeah. And I did not have very good female friendships for the longest period of time. I think I have one very close friend of mine from college.
In the 20s, basically.
Yes, so like I say, after 18, 19, once I was 18, 19, 20-ish, then I started letting myself believe that I'm capable of having I am capable of having female friendships. Then I started making female friends, and yeah, so I
think you were always capable, it's just that you did not get the correct kind of company
maybe
wrong people at the wrong time.
I mean, could be. So now I look back at that incident, I sort of pity the entire situation. I'm not, like, a lot of people tell me that they're I feel sad sometimes that they're in touch with their school friends, as in
you lose touch, but then there are a few people you like.
So I think my school friend, the one friend that I am loosely in touch with, she had to move out of this school, and she sort of did her higher education somewhere in the UK. Then she came back, she's doing some sort of charity work, so loosely in touch with her. Otherwise, school, I don't think I'm in touch with any female friend, so to speak.
I had a very different experience.
I know, and from your experience only, I'm telling you that because I've seen you have those friendships. Those are very old,
Yeah, because you were just telling me the kind of female you came across in the initial years, in your school years. I was always around, like, personally and like school wise also, I have always been around extremely strong women.
I have been around
extremely strong as in कि मतलब ऐसा वो inculcate ही हो गया. जैसे my nanny was like army woman, then she got into teaching.
I'm telling you, females in my family are very opinionated, very strong, and very level-headed also. So for them, they can have, like, I think I have learned from, like, observing family. Say you observe and you learn a lot. I think I've learned to separate your personal and your professional life, and when to pay attention to which, because opportunity cost, basic economics. So
I had no balance of that sort. So I was raised up like that. Even my aunts and all aunts around me, they were very like independent. They could do outside work, they could do inside work, like outside the household chores, inside the household chores. And then my mother has been a very independent woman throughout her entire life.
I know.
So wherever I used to go to school, I used to be like, girls can, and we can do everything and anything. And till I think I was in 4th or 5th, I accept it now, I used to bully boys. Because I was like, girls can do anything. You boys, you shush. I was that kind of person. I cannot say on camera, I have literally
tortured men.
Tortured as in if a boy at that age would say anything, I used to be like, I will punch you. And I am ऐसे मुझे karate. My brother was in like learning karate, so my mother thought that self-defense karate में डाल देते हैं अनमोल को भी. Soon enough, do gymnastics or something else because she has some sort of rage in her
that she will take it out on people.
हाँ, but over the time I realized कि oh no, not like.
Not all men are dogs, not all women are saints. I think it's a person thing because
It's a person thing.
I've come across great men,
Yeah,
and
but
I've come across great women, and I've come across their extremely sad counterparts as well.
somehow I'm always attracted to this. Like there's this enemy fairy tale. It's not like this girly. It's a like wizard sort of situation. So I was always. So Arza is one of the strongest female lead, and she's a warrior kind of person. She has red hair, and I used to be like, oh, you girl, and like in Harry Potter we have Hermione, like it's super intelligent and very clever, presence of mind. I used to be like, oh, you girl, like things like these attract me a lot.
I've been told that I keep on.
Like, oh yeah, oh yes, girl. So, these are like, this is the kind of mindset I've always had, which over the time I realized everyone was like, well, this has influencing this in a positive sense is one thing. इस तरीके से engrave और inculcate हो गया है that sometimes you go overboard. I was like, oh, I did not realize that. So I started.
हाँ, but you can't go overboard with anything. But
like I have bullied my own brother. Me and my sister, like we were in a nuclear family. My parents used to go to their work and June की छुट्टियाँ June holidays or any holidays, and me and my sister used to be like, परांठा कौन बनाएगा? और हम ऐसे मेरे भाई वैसे बोलते थे स्केल लेके कि तू बनाएगा हम नहीं बनाएंगे, you will. And I am the youngest one, my sister is there, he's the middle child. But he was the first one who learned cooking
for you, right? I think cooking is supposed to be a survival skill. If you know it, you know it. Good for you.
Yeah, but we bullied our sibling into कि you will do the cooking. If we have even like anything, if it's not just about cooking, not a female-centric role in according to the orthodox mentality, but even if you have to go and get a sanitary pad, it's like तू जाएगा market, हम तो नहीं जा रहे, गर्मी बहुत है, ये ले पकड़, go get it, take the money.
But then, मतलब I think you need to be very comfortable in your sexuality.
Yeah.
To be able to. So my brother, he's younger to me, and I have, because छुट्टी हो गई है अब, like, you know, what do you do, like school kids, what do you so माता रानी की चुन्नियाँ नहीं होती हैं. So we would take those. I mean, I would take those dupattas, and I would take like मम्मी के कुर्ते, and I would like घर and like उसको ऐसे like, you know, मम्मी की बिंदी, मम्मी की लिपस्टिक, and like ऐसे चुन्नी सिर पे डाल के I am like कि ऐसे now अब तू ऐसे तू माता रानी बन रहा है, and he would like मुझे नहीं करना है, मुझे टीवी देखना है, I mean he would nag me, but then he would not be uncomfortable about it. Like still also I think when I'm doing, like I'm putting nail paint and it says, suppose he's around, I'm like आजा तुझे भी लगा दूँ. So he is, I think, very comfortable in his being, that he hasn't ever told me ये तो लड़कियों के काम है, this is something that a female should do. And this
I
is,
have seen men with nail paint, and
Which-
a few of them have had like really good nail arts, and I was like,
dude,
dude,
your nail game is strong.
Meko bhi.
So yeah, I think, but then I have also been around men who are not comfortable with this, like, you know, if you put nail paint or like.
I have seen men who carry ear piercings very well.
Very well, yes. I think that's also piercings in general. I think you need a certain type of piercings and tattoos. I think you need a certain type of personality to carry it. Yeah. I think not everybody, and I think if you are getting a piercing or a tattoo, you should get something done that sort of blends well with your personality.
100%.
Why I say this is because so my mom, so I have a little tiny tattoos all over, and my mom one day, she was, I think I asked her to oil my hair, and she's like, why do you keep getting like ek idhar, like why do you have like tiny bits scattered all over your body? Do one thing, go to a tattoo artist, get your arm covered.
Entire arm,
so that you get it out of your system. I will look at your arm, I will acclimate, and I'll be like, okay, now my daughter has like arm full of tattoos, and now I have to live with it, and I'm cool with it. But then every time I discover a new tattoo, every 2-3 years you have one tattoo, like, what is this? Like, I got this done. Okay, what is this? I got this done. So like, instead get like one full arm covered and you get it over with. And I told her that I don't think I have the personality to carry an arm full of tattoos.
There are people who can do that.
I don't.
Messi has an arm
full of tattoos. Maroon 5. What is his name? Adam Levine. He has tattoos and he's carrying them very well.
So there are people who like have a full entire chest and back and shoulders and arm filled with, like, there's this drummer Travis Barker. He has such
brilliant
tattoos
brilliant
and it's very normal to see him in tattoos.
I think he got Victoria written. Beckham got Victoria written on his arm. Itta bada, he got Victoria written, and I think there is a certain kind of personality you need, like, to carry that.
Well.
Carry that. Not everybody can carry that. Not everybody can. Similarly, coming back to what I was speaking. What was I speaking?
We lost the train of thought.
So basically
we were
what
talking about, like, there are men who can carry piercings, and then
so I think, but then there is a different kind of personality set that goes into it, which I was speaking initially, that I was saying that I gradually have come to realize that I can have good female friendships and male friendships. It does not, person matters. Gender is no, issue. Gender no bar. There are, apart from, I have also come to realize that I am drawn to people who have this evolution based mindset.
Constantly.
हाँ, और कुछ लोगों का बड़ा डिफॉल्ट होता है.
And I've realized this, that
I am very drawn to those people. पता नहीं क्यों, something is so wrong.
like ये thought process not matching. तो okay. Thought process matching, and I was like, तुम तो इधर आ जाओ, and I'm like, you sit with me.
And पता है क्या, मतलब जैसे so affinity of water is different from the affinity of oil, I think. पर मुझे ऐसा लगता है that like जिस माहौल में आपको रखा है, like in whatever environment that you've stayed in, and whatever teachings that have been taught to you, and whatever your living situation has been, keeping that in mind, ऐसा होता है, मतलब एक perspective, मतलब in comparison to what situation, like somebody who's born in a metro city and like somebody who's born in a village, they might have had different experiences. Obviously they would have had different experiences, but then that mindset is something that can be enhanced with education, I've realized, but then that is not something that can be inculcated with education. It does not matter. I have a friend whose mom is, I think, first, she studied till class first, she's not studied beyond that, but that woman has like such expansive thoughts, and she has she has adapted, and
she's evolved at a very greater rate.
Very, nobody could say, जैसे ऐसे लोग कहते हैं कि पढ़ा लिखा नहीं है and ये छोटी बात कर रहा है, and she comes from a very small.
Sometimes, no offense, पढ़े लिखे लोग भी छोटी बात कर देते हैं. So I think it's in general how your entire mindset is, and if you're willing to evolve, because also if we talk about our grandparents, like my maternal grandfather, I was closest to him as a grandchild. Out of four of my grandparents. So he has always had this very evolved. I learned cooking from him. Like if I've learned accounting and maintaining, finances, I've also learned cooking from him. So, and he was always like, no, you need to have a very balanced and independent life in general. And he was evolving with time that, what is happening in this years of your life right now, how things are functioning, and it's not just how professionally, like mentally, psychologically.
I hang out with I have a friend in the society, and I realized that she's just 13. She'll turn 14, I think, this year. See, I am writing, right? So when you write, you need to be able to think from everybody's point of view, right? With talking to her has made me realize that she gives me a fresh perspective on things, and she gives me a fresh eye to look at. So I think hanging out with her is one great thing to do that I do. And because I think a lot of people, when we talk about Women's Day, I think a lot of people talk about Mother Teresa, and they talk about Indira Gandhi, Angelina Jolie. I mean, all the good names, all the very influential names,
commonly famous
people.
names.
I think these people whom we meet in our daily life also affect us a lot, and I think they are the people who influence actual change.
Yeah, because when you know them in person, you are able to figure out as to this is actually a real life experience from a person that I know.
And I see them on a day-to-day basis, and I meet them on a daily basis. I think I was writing from a very young age. I think 14, 15 I was writing. So I was not writing as in professionally writing. I was writing as a register,
as a hobby.
रजिस्टर के पीछे if you come across a thought, रजिस्टर के पीछे डायरी, मतलब like school की
like
डायरी,
classmate copies used to have little.
So I was writing like that, and my dad came across that and he was like, this is stupidity, you are wasting your time, focus on your studies, and make something out of yourself and be independent, because I want you to be independent. And I think he reacted, I think he reacted that way because there was nobody in our circle, immediate or like dur tak bhi, that we did not know anybody who was making a career
out of writing.
Because
I think it was very commonly spoken as कि डॉक्टर बनो, इंजीनियर
हाँ मतलब डॉक्टर बनो, इंजीनियर, अकाउंटेंट बन जाओ, कुछ भी, टीचर बन जाओ, कुछ भी बन जाओ. So there were mainstream careers and there were offbeat careers, and writing was one of the offbeat careers
it was there, but it was not commonly accepted.
It was there, but it was not there. क्योंकि मतलब I think one of the dialogue is like सब गुलजार थोड़े हैं.
Yeah, it was a common dialogue. Yeah.
So, and I'm like कि हाँ पर गुलजार साहब हम हैं, मतलब like why would I say that I'm him, like I'm
like, no, don't compare. I am my own person and I will make my own identity.
Yes, I will. But what I'm trying to basically say is that why I was telling you this incident was, so when I started writing, I think I was having a conversation with my mother 2-3 years back, and she was saying that you need to write so that you become that example, so that
for the next generation.
Yeah, girl. So if somebody says that I want to make a career out of writing, you can be held as an example. Okay, this girl is doing decent in a writing career, maybe we can speak to her, because generally ऐसा होता है that if you say that I want to be a doctor, you're like, okay, I have so and so, their son and daughter is a doctor, and you can probably talk to them and see how it goes, right? So I have also studied designing, which is also not very like mainstream.
Yeah.
So I have gotten calls, like my colleagues, my mom's colleagues and my dad's colleagues asking me that you studied designing and design, what is it like, wow, what is the experience like, and what sort of aptitude do you need to study design. So I've done that also, like
because they were trying to fairly judge
judge
for their children,
which is also, I mean, which is a fair thing to do. I'm not saying that it isn't, but what I'm saying is that there was no, when I, like, even if I would have said that, like, I would have been adamant that I want to be a writer, there was nobody we directly or indirectly knew who was writing. As a full-time job and who was making a career out of this, and like nobody thought that this could be a career. So when I started doing this, like I said, I was like, I will do just this, I will just write. My mom, I think I had this conversation with her and she's like, you have to be that example. Like,
and
if you write, like she was like, if you write, you have to give your 100%, because then you have to make something out of yourself, and then you have to be that example for somebody, ताकि किसी और का बच्चा अगर ये बोले that I want to be right, then you should act like an example for them. I was like, okay, I have stress, stress, but
okay. You are actually there, like because I have seen you on a very personal level. And I have a lot, you being one of the influential women in my life, I have a lot of influential women.
Pressure.
Like no, it's just, I'm just talking about very basic things.
I have very awesome women in my life. Like
and at different levels, not only career wise, like you doing great in your career, you having the courage to, have a different sort of speciality few years back, and now leaving that, in your peak and pursuing something that is your
passion.
Like passion and love. I think that takes another kind of courage, and that is the kind of influence I appreciate when I say I really,
that is what I'm
appreciate
saying.
Yasha.
When we said, I mean, we'll talk about women and, Women's Day special, I think I partly, I had this in mind that, we'll talk about Mother Teresa, and we'll talk about, and actresses, I mean, these days, models these days. I mean, there is a lot of influence, but I think the actual influence is
in your surroundings.
In your day to day.
If you have the vision for it, I would say.
In your day to day, there are a lot of people who will influence you, who will whom you can learn a lot from. And not just women, I mean,
like people in general, but today we are talking about women. So why not? Like when you're saying this, like this is like there's a different kind of courage that I appreciate about you. Like there's a different kind of things I appreciate about my family, women in my family. And now if we get to think about it, like you spoke about your 14-year-old friend, I know who you were talking about. Similarly, there's this friend of mine. I was just sitting when you were talking, I was in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh yeah, you learn different things. So there's this friend of mine, she has this another, like I don't know, she has this calmness in herself. Like I have known her for what, over a decade now. Her name is Palak. So she's always calm and she's always laughing and she's so cool. She's actually very
collected.
Cool.
She's very collected.
Cool and collected. And I always like, I am a very rebellious and stubborn child, and I do like, I'm very opinionated. So it happens like बहुत होता है ये कि I have a clash of opinions. This is very common. Like I have arguments with my best of my friends because we have difference in opinions, or we try to Palak is one person I have never ever, touch wood, in my life had a clash of opinions. She's always so calm. Even if I'm talking about, if I'm raged and I'm angry and I'm furious, and she will just sit there and she will just say one thing, and I'm calm, and I was like, how do you do this? Like she has this calmness.
She understands you. Let's just say that she understands.
And I'm like, till date, I do not understand how does she carry that.
That's a skill.
Effortlessly. I will do stupid things. I actually asked her eventually, like few years back, that how do you do this? How are you so calm? Why can't I need to learn this from you. And then there were few things that like 3 a.m. balcony talk, ऐसे बैठ के कर रहे हैं, And she told me very few simple things in life, and I was like, she's not wrong. So I was like there are stuff you learn from people.
Yes. I think so. When you talk about influential women, I mean, I have a friend. She had a good job. She left her job because she got married, and then gradually she had a child. She raised that child. And while raising that child, she completed her MBA because she did not want to compromise on her career. And while raising that child, she did her MBA, and now she is working at a good position in a good.
And she's not only
a mother.
Only a mother. She has a household to take care of, a duty of a
I think
daughter, mother, wife.
She is one individual who has made me realize that if you can delegate, you delegate. I will bother myself with the micro of the things and the macro of the things. And with her, staying with her, I have realized that pick something. Either you delve into the micros or you delve into the macros. You cannot have it both ways. You should not have it both ways.
You need to make a smart decision.
Yes, you should not have it both ways to keep your sanity in place at least. I mean, if you have it, ऐसा नहीं है that you're incapable of having it both ways. ऐसा है that you will lose your sanity if you have it both ways. So you pick one. You either do the nitpicking and the micros and then you forget the macro, or you do the macro and you forget the micro. Because I know who you are talking about, but I have, and she has not spelled it out. I think I have just observed.
I've met her thrice in my life, and every time her aura used to be like, she's like chill person, and she as a chill or responsible का mixture नहीं होता है जो. Like that kind of person. And suddenly, because of Women's Day, now I have back to back thoughts. This woman. But in short, I would like to say that I'm really thankful for all the women in my life and for all the teachings they have. And I'm very lucky. I have a lot of women in my life, and I also have a lot of men in my life who have done things to make me realize how strong, independent, loving, caring, nurturing a woman can be, and they respect that, and they.
I think such men. So saying that you need it goes for both the genders. Saying that you need a strong, independent human being in your life, and actually having to stay with a strong, independent human being means two different. Karni और कथनी में फर्क होता है.
That's 1000% correct.
And also, although there are things that there is a comedian, she says that there are no firsts for men, the first president, first man on moon, first this, first that
women privileges only
has already been done. We were at rock bottom. We have no place to go then up. So there is still going to be the first woman on Mars, the first woman on the moon, the first woman to
30 under 30 entrepreneur women of the year.
So there are going to be so many women things that there is this quote that the future is female.
Yeah.
I think that is true, but then I also realized that because I'm a very big advocate of balance, so it cannot be all women oriented or all men oriented. I think true balance will come
between all the genders.
I think true balance is not something that should be gender based. I think this is just my humble opinion, that true balance is something that is based on mindset. So true balance, if you want both genders to be balanced, the mindset needs to be balanced. You cannot tell your daughters that it's just you and the sons don't.
That it's just you.
That the sons don't matter, and you cannot tell your sons that the daughters don't matter. If you are going to teach your son how to treat a lady, you will also have to
teach your daughters how to
treat
like a very basic thing.
Treat the man, and also be okay with the treatment, because I think part of the problem is that if somebody is nice to you, your brain goes, why is he nice to me? What is wrong? Why is he nice to me? So if you go in defense, if somebody compliments you, I think, I've seen women who take like a normal harmless compliment to like, oh my god, did you see that he was flirting? No, he gave you a compliment, he was not flirting with you. So I think accepting the good things in the society, acknowledging the bad things in the society, and trying to strive a balance, just trying to strive, because balance is not something that you attain. You try, like even if you like yoga, if you try to balance yourself on one, so you try to balance yourself on one, like you attain that balance. That is not something that you have. You try to get there, and that is how you get there.
Like for example, like chivalry is just not for the men.
Yes.
Basic manners and etiquette.
So ये कहते हैं manners maketh man. I think manners maketh human.
Yeah. Like why is it just that women need a person to open the door for them?
I think anybody would require.
I think it's if you reciprocate it both ways.
Because if I as a female have the audacity
to expect
a certain sort of chivalry from a guy, I think I should also have that sense of giving. If he's a guy, he's a guy.
I want them to feel, I want them to know how it feels.
It is no more about what you can or cannot do. It is about what you
should be doing. Like, why not?
Can or cannot.
It gives you a feel good factor that you appreciate someone.
Can or cannot.
Can or cannot.
तो वाली बात ही खत्म हो गई है. That stage we've crossed, and I mean it's no more about that. I think it is more about what you should do and what you should not do, and what you are capable of, you will do, and what you're not capable of, you will try to become capable of that. I can do this, but I would prefer you to do this वाली जो बात आ जाती है, हाँ बात आ जाती है. I think that is where वो आ जाता है कि female and male वाला जो issue है.
We are here for the women and men. So that's that. Yasha, anything else you'd like to say?
No, I think that we'll wrap it up. I don't know. I will edit and cringe, but okay. Yeah, so yeah,
that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye guys.
Bye guys.
Hey awesome people, did you like that content? There is more such content on its way. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment, like, share the episode, share the love.
And you can also follow us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can also follow us on our social handles linked below. Thank you so much for watching and stay tuned. Bye.